Well, here we are again. You're watching 5 Minutes with. I'm your host, Jamar Suber. And as you know, I spend 5 minutes with amazing entrepreneurs. And today I'm with Matthew Snyder of RemedyGuard. Welcome to the show, Matthew.
Hi, Jamar. Thank you for having me in.
Absolutely. So you and I have had a chance to chat just for a few. Your product is amazing to me. It's set up for now, it sets us up for the future, and it's one that's needed. Please talk to us about RemedyGuard.
Thank you. Well, it's a company that I started in September of 21 to address the needs of outreach organizations. My products are used to make communities more resilient against overdoses and addiction. That kind of stuff starts in the home, and parents need tools in order to protect their children.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had a chance to take a look at the product, and on the outside, on the surface, it's simple. It's a box. But talk to us about the deeper meaning behind the actual lock box for prescription drugs, correct?
Correct.
Talk to us about that meaning.
So the meaning behind it is about repairing communities. Our country's falling apart in many ways, and if you look at the numbers that are out there and the impact the opioid epidemic and overdose crisis is having, $1.5 trillion a year impact to our economy. We're losing over 100,000 people a year to overdoses, and 4 million ER visits a year to preventable overdoses. This is stuff that does not have to happen. We can keep it from happening.
Absolutely. So we know oftentimes addiction starts at home. So your product is one that, let's say someone who went through surgery, has pain meds, they can lock their meds into this particular box, correct?
Right. Keep that stuff out of the hands of the curious.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, and I know you align the product with a lot of coalitions and outreach organizations. Why do they need this product?
So they need this so that they can protect the members in their community, so that they can reconnect and give people a little bit of a message. Outreach has changed. It used to be a lot about Just Say No and the DARE program. Those are outdated models of outreach. And unfortunately, they instilled a lot of stigma in our society where we are unable to have simple conversations about substance use and misuse. And by bringing these families back to the table, saying, here, you can use this, lock your stuff up, that is helping remove that stigma. That's helping bring people back to the table that tuned out that message a long time ago and haven't realized that things have changed.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to give you a scenario. If I run an organization that let's say is positioned through funding to deal with the opioid crisis and some of these things, what's top of mind when servicing our community and connecting with RemedyGuard?
So part of the top of mind is what am I getting for my money here with the grants and any kind of outreach stuff. Those organizations have to beg, borrow, and steal every penny that they spend, and we have to stretch their budgets as much as possible. So they're getting something that is going to last. It's a steel lockbox. It's not plastic or MDF or aluminum or anything like that. It's there. It's going to be there in their closet year after year.
So gone are the days where someone can just ruffle through a medicine cabinet and swipe the drugs. I mean, you've come with a product that eliminates, all of that from children, grandchildren, whoever it may be. This definitely makes a difference.
Absolutely, it is a deterrent. It's not a bank vault, but it is that moment, that barrier. And depending on what's going on, it provides a moment of thought. There are instances where in the home there are children who self-harm or have the potential to self-harm, and things have to get locked up. That barrier provides that moment. Absolutely. When they're in crisis and they're not having the good thoughts, they can have a moment.
So what type of organizations need the product? What type, what form? Are they connected to hospitals? Are they connected to therapy clinics, or talk to us about that client. Who are your clients?
There's a lot of hospitals involved. There are a lot of universities involved with their medical programs. There's a lot of just drug-free community coalitions. Those are nonprofits. They're funded through the CDC, state, and county funds. So those are up on the top of the list right there. Are those folks?
Yeah.
And the treatment centers for sure. If you look at what we're dealing with across the board when it comes to treatment, the methadone clinics, and even saying methadone it's almost like a bad word anymore because of the stigma that is involved. It's medication assisted treatment now is what it's called, and the folks that are in those programs, they have to pay for it all out of pocket. And there's a requirement by the DEA, and depending on how the local level implements or sees it, interprets it, they are required from the treatment center and at home to have it locked up.
Yeah.
They're able to, depending on where they're at in their treatment, have a take-home, like a weekend take-home, or maybe up to 25 days of their medication. Okay. But it's got to get locked up.
Okay. You know, in the days of entrepreneurs doing things because it's a good idea or a money grab, I want to thank you for doing something from your heart, doing something from a place of passion.
You're welcome. It feels really, really good when I get done talking with the coalitions and I'm able to provide for them, and they're just like, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Jamar.
Well, you heard it right here, RemedyGuard with my friend Matthew Snyder. If you want to learn more, log on to dailynewsnetwork.com. You've just watched 5 Minutes with, and I'm your host, Jamar Suber.